Beloved soul, I ask you now, what word are you speaking over your life? Is it the word of fear that builds prisons around your heart? Or is it the word of faith that tears down walls and opens gates of gold? For life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it shall eat the fruit thereof. The fruit of your words becomes the garden of your days. I tell you a mystery. The word you speak in secret, the word you whisper in the chambers of your mind, is the word that substance obeys. Divine substance is waiting, invisible, infinite, inexhaustible. It is the raw material of miracles. But it does not move until the tongue gives it command. The mystics knew it, the prophets declared it, the poets sang it, and the modern inventors proved it. Thomas Edison spoke into the dark and called forth light. Andrew Carnegie spoke of iron and saw it become steel empires. Walt Disney spoke of castles in the clouds and they rose from the sand of Florida swamps. Each man and woman who ever shaped destiny did so first by the word. Your word is your wand. Your word is your wealth. Your word is your world. Speak lack, and lack hastens to your door. Speak abundance, and abundance becomes flesh and dwells with you. The invisible responds with unfailing accuracy to the vibration of your decree. So I ask you again, my friend, what word are you speaking today? If you are ready to cast aside the word of fear and speak the word of power, if you are ready to prove the law and manifest your first $1,000 within the circle of 24 hours, then open your heart wide, for heaven and earth are listening. The angels of supply are waiting for your command. Divine substance is rushing to take form through the mold of your spoken word. Speak and watch your world change. If these words already stir your spirit, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let us walk together in the path of demonstration. For faith without action is dead, and the word without witness is silent. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by the Word, and without the Word was not anything made that was made. The Word is the eternal law of creation, and it is written upon the soul of man, as surely as the stars are written in the heavens. When man learns to speak aright, he steps into his divine dominion. For man was never meant to be a beggar in a universe of abundance. He was created to be a king, a queen, a ruler of circumstance, a shaper of destiny. Yet he is bound until he learns the law of the tongue. Every failure is the record of wrong words spoken. Every bondage is the shadow of careless decrees. Yet every triumph, every healing, every provision that has burst suddenly into a life has come through the channel of the spoken word aligned with faith. The tongue is a rudder that steers the ship of the soul. A small thing, but it turns the course of oceans. When you say, I cannot, the universe replies, it is done. When you say, I can, heaven and earth conspire to clear your path. When you declare, I am rich in divine supply, unseen hosts rush forth to make it visible. The law is unfailing. The law is exact. The law is just. Consider the great Thomas Edison. He did not say, there is no light, therefore I cannot bring light. He declared in the silence, let there be light. And in that declaration, the invisible fire of inspiration clothed itself in wires and bulbs. He spoke inwardly until substance obeyed. He was mocked, ridiculed, doubted. Yet he held fast to his decree, and the universe yielded. Or Andrew Carnegie, who came to this nation poor, without status, without power. Yet he spoke within himself, I will build wealth, not for hoarding, but for use. I will shape the steel that shapes the world. And so it was done unto him as he spoke. He stood before mountains of ore, and the untames became rivers of gold. The spoken word is the bridge from the invisible to the visible. It is the ladder Jacob saw, with angels ascending and descending, carrying your decrees upward and bringing their manifestation downward. It is not by toil alone that man prospers. Toil without the word is vanity, but a single word of faith, spoken with authority, can cancel years of struggle and open a floodgate of supply. By thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. There is no escaping this law. The tongue is a two-edged sword. It may cut down your good, or it may cut down every obstacle to your good. Which edge will you wield? I say unto you, begin to guard your tongue as a treasure chest, for out of its mouth flows blessing or cursing, wealth or poverty, health or disease. The careless word is like casting seed into thorns. The deliberate word is like sowing in rich soil under the sun of faith. When you speak, imagine you are standing before the throne itself, issuing a decree to the King of Kings. Would you speak doubt? Would you speak fear? Would you say, I shall never see supply? No, you would say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He prepareth a table before me in the presence of lack. my cup runneth over. Every word you speak in faith is a seed. Some sprout swiftly, some lie hidden until the appointed hour, but all shall bear fruit according to their kind. Speak fear, and fear multiplies. Speak wealth, and wealth hastens to appear. A man once said to me, Florence, I have spoken wealth for weeks and yet I am still poor. I asked him, what are you speaking in secret? What are you declaring when no one hears but God? Do you speak wealth in the morning, then declare lack in the afternoon? Do you say, I am rich, then in the next breath, complain, I cannot afford? For a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You cannot plant wheat in 1 hour, and thorns in the next, and expect a harvest of wheat alone. Choose ye this day whom you will serve, the word of fear, or the word of faith. The ancients knew this. The Egyptians carved words upon stone, believing the inscription itself had power. The Hebrews spoke blessings over their children, declaring destiny into the unborn generations. The early Christians greeted each other with words of peace, and miracles followed them. So I say, speak as one having authority. Speak as one who knows that divine substance waits upon your decree. Speak and watch the invisible take shape. The invisible is more real than the visible. All that you see was once unseen. The chair you sit upon was once an idea. The money you hold was once but a thought in the treasury of the invisible. Speak into the invisible, and it must clothe itself in the garments of the visible. Napoleon Hill declared, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Yet the conceiving must be spoken, for the word is the mold of thought, the frame upon which substance builds. There was a woman who once came to me in despair. I am poor, Florence, she said, and I shall always be poor, for I was born poor. I replied, you are not poor. You are rich in divine substance. Poverty is only the shadow of wrong words. I taught her to say, I am now linked with the inexhaustible riches of God. These riches flow to me freely, joyously, endlessly, and under grace in perfect ways. She spoke it faithfully. In less than a month, she received an inheritance she had never expected. The word broke her prison of poverty and opened the door of supply. There is no condition so fixed that the word cannot dissolve it. There is no bondage so strong that the word cannot break it. Is not my word like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces, saith the Lord? Therefore, take up the hammer of the word, strike the rock of limitation, and streams of abundance shall flow forth. Beloved soul, your first $1,000 is not far. It is as near as your next decree. For wealth does not come from without, it comes from within. Divine substance flows to the one who dares to speak. You may say, Florence, I have no opportunity. I have no contacts. I have no advantage. I reply, the word is your opportunity. The word is your contact. The word is your advantage. Speak the word, and it shall draw the channels, the people, the situations that are ordained to carry your supply. The law of the word is the law of dominion. He who controls his tongue controls his destiny. Speak therefore only that which you desire to see made flesh. Say not, I am trying. Say, it is done. Say not, I will be provided for. Say, I am now provided for. Speak the present tense, for faith is always now. When Jesus stood before the tomb of Lazarus, he did not beg, he did not plead. He spoke, Lazarus, come forth. And the dead arose. When he spoke to the fig tree, it withered. When he spoke to the storm, it was still. And he said, the works that I do shall ye do also, and greater works than these shall ye do. If his word carried power, so does yours, for you are made in his image. Beloved, this is the secret of the 24-hour challenge. It is not toil, it is not struggle, it is not fear. It is the spoken word of faith that sets in motion the supply already prepared for you. So speak this now, with conviction, with the fire of faith. I am now in harmony with the law of divine supply. I am provided for richly and abundantly. Unexpected income, under grace, in perfect ways, now appears. Money comes to me quickly, easily, joyously, and in increasing measure. My first $1,000 manifests swiftly, surely, and under grace. Hold this word, speak it aloud, declare it when you rise, when you walk, when you rest. Let it echo in the chambers of your mind until it carves its groove in divine substance. Do not cancel it with doubt. Do not uproot it with fear. Let it grow, and it shall bear fruit within the circle of 24 hours. Beloved, understand this. The universe does not respond to need, it responds to word. The beggar cries, I need, and the heavens remain silent. The believer declares, I have, and the universe bends to supply. For the word spoken in faith is the evidence of things not seen, the substance of things hoped for. Fear is a beggar. Faith is a king. Fear says, what shall I do? Faith says, It is already done. Fear speaks lack and multiplies lack. Faith speaks abundance and multiplies abundance. Choose your word, for it is your wand. Let me tell you of Walt Disney, that dreamer of castles. He stood before swamps where mosquitoes swarmed and men saw only mud. Yet he spoke, "Here shall rise a kingdom of joy, of laughter, of imagination." Men mocked him, banks doubted him, but he spoke again, "Here shall rise my vision." And now millions walk daily in the kingdom his words built. What seemed madness was in truth a decree. The word pulled substance into form. Consider Orison Swett Martin, who lost his manuscript in a fire. Years of work, gone in an instant. Many would have spoken words of defeat, yet he declared, "I will write again." And from his pen poured, pushing to the front, a book that inspired millions. His words gave him courage, his decree gave him substance. He refused to let the word of defeat write his destiny. And what of you, soul of destiny? Shall you continue to speak the word of bondage? Shall you say, "I am too late, too poor, too broken"? Or shall you declare, "I am one with the riches of God. I am linked to the inexhaustible supply. I am wealthy"? No. Ow, the choice is ever before you. The spoken word is creative fire. Dr. Frank Crane wrote, "You are the kind of man you think you are. I tell you more, you are the kind of man you say you are. If you declare yourself unlucky, unlucky you remain. If you declare yourself prosperous, prosperity begins its march. Words are seeds, and the harvest is certain. Let the weak say, 'I am strong.' Not think, not hope, not wish, but say. The declaration is the key. For the tongue is the pen of the ready writer, inscribing upon the scroll of life. Do you remember the story of Jacob? He wrestled through the night until he received a blessing. And so do you wrestle with your tongue. You must seize it, tame it, hold it until it blesses you. For the untamed tongue speaks curses, but the disciplined tongue speaks blessing only. I tell you plainly, every careless complaint, every sigh of despair, is a word that binds, but every bold declaration of faith is a key that unlocks treasure. There was once a merchant who faced ruin. Debts mounted, creditors pressed, and his words grew bitter. "I am ruined," he repeated daily. "I cannot recover." His life bent to the word, and ruin hastened. Another merchant in the same city also faced hardship, yet he declared, "This is only a passageway to greater good. My supply is unfailing, my business flourishes." And within weeks, opportunity arose, sales increased, and he triumphed. Both men faced storm. One spoke shipwreck, the other spoke safe harbor. The tongue decided their fate. Divine law is impartial. It does not favor the wise above the fool, nor the rich above the poor. It favors the one who speaks aright. Just as electricity serves the one who knows its law, so does divine substance serve the one who knows the law of the word. Swami Vivekananda once declared, "The world is the great gymnasium where we come to make ourselves strong." I say the world is the great canvas where we come to paint with words. Speak weakness, and weakness paints itself across your days. Speak strength, and the masterpiece of your destiny glows with color. The word is not magic, yet it works wonders. The word is not trickery, yet it appears miraculous. For the word aligns you with the eternal law of creation, the same law by which God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. You too are created in that image, to decree and to see. Perhaps you say, "Florence, I have spoken and nothing happened." Then I ask you, did you speak with authority? Did you speak as one who knows the law is unchanging? Or did you speak with a hidden whisper of doubt? For the law obeys unwavering faith. Let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind, and tossed. A woman once told me she had been affirming prosperity for months, yet still lived in lack. I asked her, "How do you speak when the bills come?" She confessed, "I groan, I say, I'll never pay this." There lay her contradiction. She planted wealth in the morning and uprooted it by noon. I told her, "Guard your word at every hour, speak wealth in the face of bills. Say, these bills are easily paid, divine supply meets every demand." She obeyed, and soon her income doubled. Beloved soul, let your decree never falter. Speak wealth when you see wealth, speak wealth when you see lack, speak wealth until wealth alone appears. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate." I tell you, the word is the lamp that brings the unconscious to light. Speak your hidden fears, and they rise like demons to rule you. Speak your hidden faith, and it rises like angels to guide you. What you declare awakens within. The word is seed, water, and harvest all in one. The word is the law, and the fulfillment of the law. Speak, and the law hastens to clothe your decree. So now, in this sacred hour, speak boldly. I am now supplied. I am now prosperous. I am now in receipt of my $1,000. The channels are open. The doors are wide. The harvest is ripe. I am one with inexhaustible supply. It is done. Say it with rhythm. Say it with fire. Say it until every atom of your being vibrates with its truth. Do not beg, for begging is unbelief. Do not plead, for pleading is weakness. Command, for the law is your servant. I once knew a man who desired a certain sum of money. He did not whine, he did not fret. He wrote upon his wall the amount desired, and daily he declared, "This money is mine by divine right. It comes swiftly, surely, and in perfect ways." Within days, a forgotten debt was repaid, the exact sum arriving. The word drew it forth as iron draws the needle. Think not of how. The how is the province of God. You are the speaker, not the engineer. You speak the word, and divine substance arranges the channels. The bird does not know how the worm appears. It sings its song and the worm is there. So sing your word, and let heaven handle the method. Prentice Mulford, that prophet of New Thought, wrote, "The word goes forth charged with your force, and it attracts unto itself atoms and currents in the unseen, and brings results." He knew the secret, that every word spoken with conviction is a magnet. Speak lack, and you magnetize lack. Speak wealth, and wealth comes running. Beloved, wealth is already circling you like unseen stars. You need only speak the word that brings them into view. Beloved, wealth is nearer than your breath. It waits not in distant years, it waits now, invisible yet present, unseen yet already yours. The law is eternal, the law is immediate, the law is just. Divine supply is perfect, infinite, and personal. It knows your name, it knows your need, and it knows the appointed hour of manifestation. You are never waiting for supply. Supply is waiting for your word. The table is already set, the feast already prepared, but until you speak the word, you sit outside the banquet hall, starving beside the laden table. Speak, and the door opens. Speak, and the table is yours. Consider the life of Annie Ricks Millets, that radiant teacher of the word. She declared boldly that God was her unfailing supply, that no circumstance could shake her abundance. When critics mocked her, when doubts pressed upon her, she continued to speak the word of prosperity, and her life proved it. Students gathered, resources flowed, and she left behind a legacy of truth that still feeds souls today. She spoke abundance, and abundance clothed her in living proof. I say again, the law is impartial. It will serve the one who believes as swiftly as it serves the one who doubts, for doubt is also faith. Faith in evil, faith in lack, faith in failure. The universe is obedient to whichever word you exalt. Choose carefully, for every idle word is a seed, and every seed brings forth fruit after its kind. Christian D. Larson declared in his Optimist Creed, "Promise yourself to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best." I would add, promise yourself to speak only of the best, to decree only the best, to affirm only the best. For expectation is spoken, and what you speak you soon expect, and what you expect you soon experience. You may say, "Florence, is it not foolish to speak wealth when my purse is empty?" I reply, it is divine wisdom, for the purse is but the shadow, the word is the substance. Speak to the shadow and it mocks you. Speak to the substance and the shadow changes. Speak to the purse and it echoes hollow. Speak to divine substance and the purse fills. Faith speaks before the evidence appears. Faith declares light in darkness, health in sickness, wealth in poverty. Faith says, I am, while the world cries, you are not. Faith holds fast until the invisible bows to the decree. This is not fantasy, this is law. Remember the great lawgiver, Thomas Troward. He taught that spirit is always seeking expression, that thought impresses itself upon substance, and that substance takes form. He knew the chain, spirit, word, form. You speak, spirit responds, form appears. Break the chain at any point and the demonstration fails. Guard your words, for they are the link between spirit and manifestation. And what of Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind? He declared, change your thinking, change your life. But thought must become word. Silent thought is the seed, spoken word is the planting. Sow it aloud into the garden of the universe, and the harvest cannot fail. The poet Ella Wheeler Wilcox sang, talk happiness, the world is sad enough without your woes. Yes, talk happiness, talk health, talk wealth, talk faith, until the very air vibrates with your decree. For as you speak, you magnetize, and as you magnetize, you draw, and as you draw, you receive. Carl Jung, in his wisdom, pointed to the shadow of the unconscious. But I tell you, the word is the torch that dispels shadow. Speak what you desire until the unconscious mind, once your enemy, becomes your ally. Let every cell, every nerve, every breath repeat after you. I am wealthy now. I am prosperous now. I am supplied now. Even the stern mystic Gurdjieff declared that man is mechanical until he awakens. And I say, the word awakens. The tongue of faith strikes the chord of spirit, and man awakens to his divine estate. Sleepwalkers complain, but the awakened decree. Sleepwalkers drift, but the awakened command. Wake, O sleeper, and rise into your dominion by the word, and do not fear the ridicule of the world, for the world mocked Noah as he built the Ark, mocked Columbus as he sought the new world, mocked the Wright brothers as they sought to fly. Yet each held fast to his decree until mockery was silenced by manifestation. So shall it be with you. Speak your wealth, though others call it folly, and soon they shall call it wisdom. Now, let us walk together through the practice of the word. I give you the decree. I am one with the inexhaustible riches of God. Money comes to me swiftly, surely, joyously, and under grace in perfect ways. My $1,000 appears now, in full measure, in overflowing supply. Nothing can hinder it, for it is mine by divine right. Speak this as you would breathe, with rhythm and certainty. Write it upon the walls of your mind. Whisper it as you walk. Proclaim it as you rest. Do not cancel it with fear. Do not contradict it with complaint. Hold it until it holds you. For some, manifestation comes in hours, for others, in days, but always it comes, if the decree is unbroken. For the word of faith is a seed that must sprout. No man digs up a seed daily to see if it lives. He plants and trusts, so plant your word and trust the law. Beloved, this is not mere theory. I have seen it proven in countless lives. A man once told me, Florence, I need $500 by tomorrow or I lose all. I said, speak this. By divine right, I receive $500 by tomorrow, in perfect ways. He spoke it, holding fast in faith. That evening, a business partner who had long delayed payment arrived at his door, handing him the exact sum. Was it chance? No, it was law. Another woman, desperate for rent, declared as I instructed, my rent is paid in full by divine supply. Within hours, she received an unexpected check. The landlord was paid, and her faith was strengthened. The law is swift when the word is unwavering, and you, dear soul, you are next. For the law has no favorites. What it has done for one, it will do for you. But it requires the word. Speak therefore your wealth. Speak therefore your $1,000. Speak until the invisible bows. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Your proof is in your decree. Speak and see, declare and receive, do not delay, for delay is denial. Speak now, for now is the appointed time. Faith is always now, supply is always now, the word is always now. I say unto you, beloved, this day you shall set in motion the law that secures your $1,000. This day you shall prove the power of the word. This day you shall shift from fear to faith, from lack to supply, from bondage to liberty. The angels of abundance are listening. Divine substance is waiting. Heaven is leaning low to hear your decree. Speak now, and it is done. And as you walk in this truth, remember to hold your tongue against complaint, gossip, fear, and doubt. For one careless word may delay the harvest, but a steadfast word hastens it. You are the gardener of your destiny. Your tongue is the hand that plants. Your word is the seed. Divine substance is the soil. Faith is the rain. Perseverance is the sun. Together they bring forth the harvest of abundance. So speak, beloved. Speak as never before. Speak with fire. Speak with certainty. Speak until the very air trembles with your decree, and your $1,000 shall not tarry. It is even now on its way. Beloved, this is the close of our first great step, the revelation of the law of the word. You have heard the truth. You have felt the power. You have spoken the decree. Hold it and watch it bear fruit. If your spirit burns with this truth, if your soul feels the fire of faith rising, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this word so that others may awaken. For the harvest is not yours alone, it is for the world. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Without faith, the word is but sound upon the air, but with faith, the word is thunder that shakes the heavens. Without faith, the decree is an empty shell, but with faith, it is the seed of a harvest unstoppable. Beloved, faith is not hoping, faith is not wishing, faith is not trembling before circumstance and whispering, maybe. Faith is knowing, faith is standing in the storm and declaring, the sun shines. Faith is looking into the empty purse and declaring, "It is full." Faith is facing the closed door and saying, "It opens now, under grace, in perfect ways." When Jesus walked upon the waters, his disciples feared. They saw only the waves, only the danger, only the threat. But he said, "Be not afraid, it is I." And when Peter stepped out upon the waves, he stood while his eyes were on the Master. But when he looked to the storm, he sank. So it is with you. Keep your eyes on the Word, not on the storm. Keep your faith in the invisible, not in appearances. For appearances are fleeting, but the Word is eternal. Andrew Carnegie, that titan of steel, once said, "The man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." This is faith. Possession of the mind by conviction. Carnegie did not wait for steel to prove itself. He held the faith that it would become the backbone of industry, and so it did. Napoleon Hill, student of Carnegie, declared in his immortal work, Think and Grow Rich, that faith is the head chemist of the mind. He knew that without faith, desire dies stillborn, but with faith, desire becomes a living reality. Hill wrote of men who held faith in riches before riches appeared, and riches came. So too must you hold faith in your $1,000 before the evidence appears. Speak it with faith, and faith will clothe it in form. Faith is not fragile. Faith is a sword. It cuts through fear. It cuts through doubt. It cuts through every appearance of lack. When David stood before Goliath, he did not say, "The giant is too great." He said, "The Lord delivereth me, and I shall strike thee down." His faith slew the giant before the stone was loosed. Faith speaks the victory before the battle is won. And so must you speak. I have my $1,000 now. Divine supply has delivered it. The channels are open. The way is clear. I walk in abundance. Say it not with trembling, but with the voice of one who knows. Say it as a king commands his subjects. Say it as a general commands his army. For the universe is your army, and faith is its commander. There was a woman who once told me, "Florence, I believe in prosperity, but I fear disappointment. I dare not expect too much." I said to her, "Then you have placed faith in disappointment, not in God." Fear is faith inverted. Whatever you fear, you magnetize. Whatever you believe, you energize. Choose ye this day where your faith shall rest. She began to speak boldly. I fear not. I trust fully. I believe in the abundance of God. Soon, opportunities opened, and her life transformed. Beloved soul, faith is a muscle. Use it, and it strengthens. Neglect it, and it withers. Speak faith daily, and it grows mighty. Speak fear daily, and it grows monstrous. Feed your faith, and starve your fear. Feed your fear, and starve your faith. Dr. Frank Crane wrote, "Faith is the daring of the soul to go farther than it can see." Yes, faith steps into the unseen, and the unseen becomes seen. Faith is the bridge from nothing to something. Faith is the wings that carry your word across the gulf of the invisible into manifestation. Do not confuse faith with struggle. Faith is not straining. Faith is resting in certainty. The bird does not struggle to fly, it trusts its wings. The lily does not strive to bloom, it trusts the sun. So too must you rest in the certainty that what you have spoken in faith must appear. Swami Vivekananda declared, "Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. This is the way to success." And what is faith but holding one idea with such intensity that all else fades? Hold the idea of abundance, of your $1,000, of divine supply flowing now. Let no contrary thought find lodging. Drive it out with the sword of faith. Beloved, I say again, appearances are the great deceivers. The senses cry, "There is no money, there is no way, there is no hope." But faith declares, "I am rich, the way is open, the supply is here." And the senses must bow to faith, for faith shapes the invisible, and the invisible commands the visible. When the children of Israel stood before the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army behind them, fear cried, "We are trapped." But Moses spoke in faith, "Stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord." He lifted his rod, and the sea parted. Faith opened a path where none appeared. So too will faith open your path of provision. You say, "Florence, I do not see the way." I say, you do not need to see the way, you need only see the word. Faith is the seeing eye of the Spirit. Speak, and the way appears. Now, beloved, let us practice faith together. Speak this aloud with me. I walk by faith, not by sight. I look not at appearances. I see only divine supply. I am provided for richly, abundantly, immediately. My $1,000 appears now under grace, in perfect ways. Feel it, believe it, know it. For the word without faith is like an arrow without a bow. It falls to the ground. but the word with faith flies true and strikes the target. I tell you, the men and women who changed history were men and women of faith. Columbus set sail when others said the world would end at the horizon. Faith carried him across oceans. The Wright brothers faced ridicule, yet faith lifted them into the sky. Edison faced thousands of failures, yet faith lit the world. What of you? Will you join their company? Will you stand as one who believed when others doubted, one who declared when others despaired, one who manifested when others surrendered? Your faith shall write your name in the scroll of destiny. Faith is not passive. Faith is active, bold, and unyielding. Faith does not wait for permission. Faith does not beg. Faith commands. Faith declares. Faith stands unshaken until the universe yields. Beloved, your $1,000 is not withheld. It is already prepared. It circles you now like a hawk above the field, waiting to descend at your command. But it cannot land until you lift the arm of faith. Speak, therefore, with faith, and it descends. Say it again. By divine right, I am in possession of $1,000. It comes swiftly, surely, joyously, and under grace in perfect ways. Nothing can stop it, for the law is unfailing, and the law is mine. Let every word strike like a hammer. Let every decree ring like a bell. Let your faith burn like fire, for faith is the key that unlocks every vault of heaven. Faith is the gold standard of the soul. It is the currency of the invisible, the coin of heaven that buys all things. Without faith, man is bankrupt, though his coffers overflow. With faith, man is wealthy, though his hands be empty. For faith draws the unseen into the seen. Faith calls the riches from the storehouse of the infinite into the purse of the now. Beloved, never despise small beginnings, for faith turns seeds into forests. A mustard seed of faith moves mountains, not because of its size, but because of its purity. 1 ounce of pure faith outweighs tons of doubt. Doubt is scattered, but faith is concentrated. Doubt wavers, but faith stands. Doubt complains, but faith commands. Remember this: fear is faith turned upside down. Fear believes in evil. Faith believes in good. Fear declares, something terrible is coming. Faith declares, something wonderful is here. Both are decrees, both are prayers, both are seeds. Which shall you sow? A man once came to me trembling. Miss Shinn, he said, I am drowning in debt. I have prayed, I have begged, but nothing comes. I told him, praying in fear is begging the darkness. Speak instead in faith. Declare, my debts are paid in full by divine supply in perfect ways. Say it, and say it until it is true. He obeyed. Within weeks, unexpected opportunities opened, and the tide turned. His debts dissolved, not by toil alone, but by faith. Beloved, this is the law. According to your faith, be it unto you. Not according to your need, not according to your fear, not according to your toil, but according to your faith. Need multiplies need, fear multiplies fear, but faith multiplies wealth. Gaze upon the life of Abraham, father of faith. He looked to the heavens and was promised descendants as numerous as the stars. Though his body was aged and his wife barren, he staggered not at the promise. He believed, and it was counted unto him for righteousness. Faith gave him Isaac. Faith made him the patriarch of nations. You too are called to be an heir of faith. Speak the promise, hold it fast, stagger not, and it shall be counted unto you for riches. Think of Walt Disney once more. He faced bankruptcy, failure, and ridicule, yet he walked the land where others saw only swamps and declared, here shall rise the happiest place on earth. That was faith, and faith clothed his vision in castles and kingdoms. Think of Edison, who faced 1,000 failures in search of the light. Each failure was but the shadow, but he held faith in the promise of light. I have not failed, he said. I have found 1,000 ways that do not work. And at last, the light blazed. That was faith, and faith lit the world. Think of Napoleon Hill, who interviewed 500 men of wealth and found the golden thread of faith in them all. Not one became great without first declaring his gratiorante. Eatness before the evidence appeared. They believed in riches when others mocked. They spoke wealth when others doubted. And the riches obeyed their faith. Beloved, what shall you do? Will you continue to speak lack? Will you tremble before bills and call them masters? Or will you rise and declare, I am one with infinite supply. I am rich in faith. My $1,000 appears now, by divine right, under grace, in perfect ways. Do not wait for courage to feel faith. Speak faith until courage appears, for words lead, and feelings follow. Declare abundance, and the heart shall soon believe. Speak health, and the body shall soon align. The word trains the soul to faith. Faith is not noise. Faith is vibration. Speak quietly or loudly. It matters not, so long as the tone is conviction. Whisper with certainty, and the heavens hear louder than shouts of doubt. The law responds not to volume, but to vibration. Speak in faith, and the vibration is set. Hold in faith, and the vibration continues. And when vibration is strong enough, it precipitates into form. Beloved, the universe is a mirror. Speak in fear, and it reflects fear. Speak in wealth, and it reflects wealth. Faith polishes the mirror until it shows only what you decree. Now listen, your $1,000 is already circling in the unseen. Faith draws it nearer. Doubt pushes it away. Faith opens the gates. Fear closes them. Faith speeds the arrival. Fear delays it. The law is impartial. Say this now with me. I walk in unwavering faith. My supply is secure. My $1,000 is mine now, by divine right. The channels are open. I am guided. I am provided for. I am prospered richly and abundantly. I rest in the certainty of supply. Rest, beloved, for faith is rest. To worry is to toil. To believe is to rest. Rest in the law, knowing that what you have spoken is already accomplished. The check is written. These ought not yet delivered. The harvest is grown, though not yet reaped. Rest, for faith has already secured it. Ella Wheeler Wilcox said, "There is no chance, no destiny, no fate that can hinder the firm resolve of a determined soul. That firm resolve is faith. It bends destiny, it shapes fate, it removes hindrance, it brings supply in 24 hours when others would call it impossible." Faith thrives in the impossible. When man says, "It cannot be," faith says, "It is already done." When men say, "There is no way," faith says, "God makes a way." When the world cries, "Hopeless," faith sings, "Victory." Beloved, guard your faith as treasure. Guard it against thieves of doubt, against robbers of fear, against assassins of despair. Guard it as you would guard gold, for it is greater than gold. Faith is the mother of gold. Faith is the father of supply. Faith is the master key. So I ask you now, where is your faith? Is it in the bank account, the employer, the economy? Then it is a house built upon sand. But if your faith is in divine supply, it is a house built upon rock, and no storm can shake it. Lift your eyes from men to God. Lift your trust from channels to source. Lift your heart from fear to faith. Then speak boldly, and your decree shall not tarry. Faith without works is dead. What is the work of faith? To hold fast to the decree, to refuse contradiction, to act as though it were already done, to give thanks in advance, to walk as if supplied, to talk as if supplied, to rest as if supplied. This is the work of faith. When Jesus fed the 5,000, he did not pray, "Lord, send bread." He took the loaves and fishes at hand, gave thanks, and broke them. His faith multiplied them. He acted as though there were enough, and enough appeared. This is the way of faith. Beloved, give thanks now. Give thanks for your $1,000 as though already in your hand. Say, "Thank you, Father, for this supply. Thank you for the perfect channels. Thank you for the swift manifestation. Thank you, for it is done." Gratitude is faith in action. I tell you a truth, 1 hour of gratitude is worth more than 1,000 hours of worry. Gratitude opens the gates of heaven. Gratitude multiplies. Gratitude hastens. Gratitude seals the decree. So let us end this part in gratitude. Declare with me now, I give thanks for my $1,000. I rejoice in its swift arrival. I bless the channels through which it comes. I rest in divine supply. I am rich. I am provided for. I am prosperous now. Beloved, hold this faith. Walk in this gratitude. Rest in this certainty. For your $1,000 is already in your hands, though your eyes may not yet see it. Speak, believe, act, and give thanks, and it must appear. If this word of faith has stirred your heart, if it has ignited courage within you, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with another soul in need of faith. For faith grows as it is given, and your testimony shall bless the world. Vision is the eye of faith. It is the lamp of the soul that sees beyond appearances. Where faith is the heart that believes, vision is the eye that beholds. Without vision, the people perish. Without vision, wealth remains unshaped, abundance remains unseen, miracles remain unborn, for vision is the mold into which divine substance pours. Beloved soul, you are always seeing something. If not the vision of truth, then the nightmare of fear. If not the picture of wealth, then the image of lack. The inner eye paints, and the outer world frames the canvas. Man cannot escape his vision. He walks in the pictures he holds before his mind. Consider Joseph, the dreamer, son of Jacob. His brothers mocked him for his visions, but his visions were true. He saw sheaves bowing down, stars paying homage. Though he was cast into a pit, sold into slavery, bound in prison, yet the vision sustained him. And at last, he stood clothed in authority, ruler of Egypt, savior of nations. His vision pulled him through the pit to the palace. So too with you, beloved. The pit of debt, the prison of lack, cannot bind you if your vision is exalted. Lift your eyes from the mud and behold the stars. See yourself rich, supplied, free, joyful. Hold that picture, and the outer must conform. Thomas Troward declared, "The law of life is the law of belief, but belief is limited by vision." You cannot hold wealth you cannot see. You cannot receive abundance you cannot imagine. The infinite is waiting, longing, ready to pour itself into your mold, but you must fashion the mold of vision. Andrew Carnegie, as a poor boy in a weaver's cottage, saw castles in his mind. He walked as a messenger boy, but he held the picture of steel, railroads, and millions. His vision became his empire. Walt Disney, when men saw only swampland, saw kingdoms. His eyes painted what his hands could not yet touch. He walked in the picture until the picture walked into flesh. Vision is the secret architect. Vision designs, faith builds, manifestation finishes. Without vision, faith is scattered. With vision, faith is targeted. Without vision, energy dissipates. With vision, energy concentrates. You ask, how shall I see? Close your eyes to appearances and open the inner eye. Shut the door of the senses and behold with imagination. Picture yourself counting the bills, holding the check, rejoicing in the supply. See the smile upon your face. See the burden lifted. See the door opened. See the table spread. The picture is the prophecy. Beloved, imagination is not idle fancy. It is the womb of reality. What you conceive, you shall bear. What you picture, you shall experience. God has given imagination as the sculptor of destiny. Use it not for fear, but for faith. Do not picture the disaster. Picture the deliverance. Do not rehearse the loss. Rehearse the gain. Prentice Mulford said, "To desire is to expect, and to expect is to see." Whoa! In desire and vision unite, the law must obey. Expectation is the magnet that draws supply. Vision is the magnet made visible. Look to Scripture again. God brought Abram forth and said, "Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them, so shall thy seed be." He lifted his eyes to vision. He beheld the stars, and the vision became flesh. The child was born. The nation arose. Lift your eyes likewise. Look beyond the narrow window of circumstance. See the wealth scattered through the heavens, waiting to be numbered. Say within, so shall my supply be. See the $1,000, and beyond the 1,000, the river of gold. Dr. Frank Crane once wrote, "You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you." Thoughts are pictures, and pictures are destinations. Where is your inner eye leading you? Toward lack or toward wealth? Toward bondage or toward freedom? Beloved, you are not a beggar at the gates of life. You are an heir of vision. The kingdom is within you, waiting for your sight to open it. Speak the word and see the vision. See the vision and speak the word. Word and vision together are the chariot of manifestation. Gurdjieff taught his students to remember themselves, to awaken, to see consciously. So too must you awaken from the dream of fear and behold the dream of faith. See deliberately. Picture consciously, for unconscious pictures birth unconscious results. The artist does not paint by accident. The architect does not build without plan. Neither should you live without vision. Take time each day to enter the secret place. Close your eyes and picture wealth. See yourself supplied. See the $1,000 already spent in joy. See the fruits of supply blessing others. Vision must be vivid. It must be alive. See it in color, in detail, in feeling. Hear the sound of laughter. Feel the texture of bills in your hand. Smell the fragrance of newness. Vision is not flat, it is alive. Make it real within, and it will be real without. Christian D. Larson wrote, "What you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon, must inevitably come to pass." This is the law of vision. Vivid imagination, ardent desire, sincere belief, enthusiastic action. These four together are irresistible. Beloved, let no one steal your vision. Guard it from mockers, from scoffers, from doubters. Joseph spoke his dream too soon, and his brothers hated him. Learn wisdom. Hold your vision in secret until it is strong enough to shine forth. Let the fruit appear before you share the seed. Yet share your testimony when it ripens. For vision fulfilled is prophecy proven, and your testimony will water the visions of others. Vision brings joy. To picture wealth is to taste wealth in advance. To see the answer is to rest before it arrives. Vision is the banquet spread before manifestation. Eat and be satisfied. Now, I call you to practice. Close your eyes tonight and see yourself with the $1,000. Do not wonder how. Do not question when. See it as now. Say, It is mine now, I rejoice in it. Hold that vision, fall asleep in that vision, and the law shall work while you rest. Remember the words of Ernest Holmes, supply is the outpicturing of substance, formed by thought, molded by imagination, and pressed out by faith. Substance is pressing to take form through your vision. Mold it wisely, picture abundance, and it must take shape. Beloved, when you hold vision, heaven conspires. Men, channels, events, opportunities, inspirations, all are gathered by the law to fulfill the picture. The actors take their place upon the stage. The curtain rises, the play unfolds. Vision writes the script. Faith directs, manifestation performs. Do not be double-minded. Do not change the picture daily. Hold fast. A camera does not develop film if the picture is changed mid-exposure. Hold steady. Let the image burn deep. In due season, the photograph of wealth shall appear. Vision and gratitude are twins. As you see, so give thanks. As you picture, so rejoice. Gratitude charges the vision with power. Gratitude tells the universe, this is already mine. Gratitude hastens the unfolding. So let us speak together. I hold the vision of wealth. I see myself supplied. I see my $1,000 in hand, in joy, in perfect ways. I guard this vision, I feed this vision, I rejoice in this vision, and I give thanks, for it is done. Beloved, never forget. Your world is your vision, your future is your picture, your destiny is your imagination. Lift it high, and you shall walk in high places. See abundance, and abundance will clothe you. See wealth, and wealth will serve you. See supply, and supply will flood you. Vision is the golden key. Use it now, and the gates of riches swing wide. Right action is the offspring of vision. To see and not to act is to dream without birth. To act without vision is to stumble in the dark. But when the word is spoken, when faith is kindled, when vision is painted, then comes the hour of action, right action, divinely ordered steps, the alignment of your feet with the path of manifestation. Beloved, action is not struggle. Action is not feverish labor. Action is not toil in the sweat of fear. Right action is effortless motion under the law. Right action flows from the inner certainty that the supply is already yours, and that the universe is arranging every detail to bring it to pass. You have spoken the word, you have lifted the vision. Now the spirit within whispers, this is the way, walk ye in it. And as you obey, doors open, channels appear, opportunities are revealed. The miracle hides in the simple step. The treasure is concealed in the ordinary act. Consider Peter, when Christ commanded him to cast the net on the right side of the ship. Peter had to act. The fish were waiting, but the net had to be cast. The abundance was at hand, but the motion was required. When he obeyed, the nets broke with supply. The boats sank under the weight of provision. So too with you. Your fish are gathered. Your $1,000 are swimming in the waters of divine substance. But you must cast the net. You must act in obedience to the inner command. Right action is the bridge between invisible and visible. Right action is the handshake of heaven and earth. Right action is the proof of faith. Faith without works is dead, and vision without action is but a picture on the wall. But when faith speaks, vision sees, and action moves, the triangle of manifestation is complete, and nothing can resist it. Do not ask, what should I do? Ask rather, what is mine to do? For not every action is right action. Struggle is not yours. Worry is not yours. Endless motion is not yours. Right action is yours, and right action is always accompanied by peace. Andrew Carnegie once said that his greatest wealth came not from his own labor, but from right alliances, right moments, right choices. He acted when others hesitated. He moved when others feared. His steps were guided by vision and boldness, and the law prospered him, for he aligned his action with his vision. Beloved, never despise the small act, for the mustard seed of action becomes the tree of abundance. A phone call made in faith, a letter written in obedience, a door knocked upon in trust. These may seem small, but they are golden keys in disguise. When Walt Disney bought swampland in Florida, men laughed. They saw a foolish act, but he was acting on vision. He purchased the invisible kingdom before the eyes of men could behold it. Right action looks foolish to the fearful, but wise to the faithful. Right action is never dictated by appearances, but by inner assurance. Right action may mean giving when fear says hoard. Right action may mean speaking when fear says, be silent. Right action may mean stepping out when fear says, wait. For the law often reverses the counsel of fear. Fear withholds, but faith gives. Fear delays, but faith moves. Fear doubts, but faith declares. Right action is faith in motion. Remember the widow of Zarephath. She had but a handful of meal and a little oil. Elijah said, make me a little cake first. To the mind of fear, this was madness, but she obeyed the law of right action. She gave first, and the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, until the day the Lord sent rain. Her action opened the channel of continuous supply. Beloved, you too must move. You too must act. To hold the vision without stepping forward is to dam the river, but to act in alignment with vision is to release the flow. The Spirit whispers constantly, do this, move here, call there, sow this seed, release that fear, take this step, obey the whisper, and you are walking in right action. Thomas Edison was asked how he succeeded after 10,000 failures. He replied, I did not fail. I found 10,000 ways that would not work. His action never ceased. His motion never stopped. He acted and acted again until light burst forth. He did not sit and wait for the bulb to glow by vision alone. He placed his hands to the work, guided by inner assurance that the solution already existed. Action without fear, action born of faith, is always multiplied. The loaves and fishes in the hands of the disciples seemed too little, but when they acted, when they gave, when they broke, when they distributed, multiplication occurred. Your $1,000 may seem far, but act as if it is near. Sow the seed, pay the bill in faith, give the tithe in joy, sign the contract in trust, and watch the multiplication. Dr. Frank Crane wrote, you may be deceived if you trust too much, but you will live in torment if you do not trust enough. To act is to trust. To act is to lean on the unseen arm. To act is to put weight upon the invisible bridge. Trust, and step forward. Beloved, do not wait for perfect conditions. They will never come. The moment you see the vision, act. The door opens when you step, not before. The sea parts when the foot touches the water, not while standing on the shore. Israel did not wait for the Jordan to dry. They stepped, and the waters fled. So too will the waters of lack retreat when you step forward in right action. Do not confuse motion with action. Many run in circles, many labor in vain, many strive without fruit. Right action is precise, divinely guided, effective. One step of right action can produce what years of struggle cannot. One act of obedience can unlock supply that toil never touched. Listen, and move only when led. And when led, move without delay. Christian D. Larson said, to act in the spirit of faith is to act in the spirit of power. Fearful action drains, faithful action empowers. Test your action. If it brings peace, it is right. If it brings fear, it is wrong. If it opens, it is right. If it binds, it is wrong. The law is written in your heart, and peace is the umpire. Right action often means forgiveness. To release a grudge may be the very act that releases wealth. To cancel a debt may cancel the chains around your own finances. To speak kindness where bitterness ruled may open the gates of gold. Do not neglect the inner acts. They are as mighty as outer deeds. Beloved, I call you now to act. Speak the word yes. See the vision, yes. But also rise and move. Sow the seed. Make the call. Knock on the door. Write the plan. Sign the paper. Release the gift. Forgive the debtor. Bless the enemy. These are right actions that ally in heaven and earth. Say now within your heart, I am guided to right action. Every step is ordered. Every move is divinely aligned. I act in faith. I move in peace. I obey the whisper. I walk in demonstration. And so you shall. Remember always, supply is not magic without motion. Faith is not faith without works. Vision is not vision without steps. Your $1,000 awaits your action. The gold is in the field, but the sickle must swing. The harvest is ripe, but the reaper must move. Act now, and the law shall perform. Beloved, this is the hour. Rise and walk, speak and move, see and act, and you shall have whatsoever you say, see, and do in faith. If this truth is lighting your soul, pause now, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share these words of revelation with others. For the word spoken multiplies, and every seed of truth you sow returns to you a harvest of miracles. There is an appointed hour for every miracle. There is a sacred season for every harvest. The oak does not burst forth in one day, nor does the rose bloom in midwinter. The stars keep their appointed courses, the tides obey their rhythm, and the planets swing in divine circles. Shall your blessing alone be late? Shall your supply be delayed? Never, for heaven is never late, never early, but always right on time. Beloved, divine timing is the hidden servant of faith. When you have spoken the word, when you have lifted the vision, when you have moved in right action, then you must rest in the eternal law of timing. The promise may tarry, but it will not lie. Though it seems delayed, it will surely come. It will not tarry a moment beyond its appointed hour. Consider the ripening of fruit. To pluck before time is to taste bitterness. To wait too long is to meet decay, but in the right moment, the fruit bursts with sweetness, so too with your manifestation. To force it be. For time is to spoil the blessing. To despair because it has not yet come is to miss the joy of the ripening. But to trust the law of divine timing is to taste abundance at its perfect hour. The psalmist declared, "My times are in thy hand. Your times are not in the hand of men, nor in the hand of chance, nor in the hand of circumstance. They are in the hand of God. And when God holds your times, no delay can hinder, no enemy can block, no force can resist. The appointed hour is sacred, and heaven and earth shall bend to fulfill it." Thomas Troward, the great metaphysician, wrote that, "Spirit is never in a hurry, but always arrives on time." This is the wisdom of divine timing. Spirit does not rush, for Spirit knows there is no lack of time. Spirit does not delay, for Spirit knows the right hour. When you align your faith with this rhythm, you rest from struggle and live in peace. Beloved, impatience is the enemy of manifestation. Impatience uproots the seed before it can sprout. Impatience cries, "Where is my $1,000? Why has it not yet come?" But patience knows, it is already on the way, moving through channels unseen, forming in substance, gathering in the invisible. Like the seed in the soil, it is germinating, growing, swelling, pushing upward, until the tender shoot breaks through the earth. Look at the inventions of Edison. Many mocked him because the light did not appear quickly. Yet he trusted the timing. Every experiment, every attempt, was not failure but formation. The light was already his, waiting for its appointed hour of revelation. And when the moment struck, the world was changed forever. Napoleon Hill declared that most men fail because they give up 3 feet from gold. They dig and grow weary. They curse the delay. They quit before the hour, yet the gold was just beneath. The breakthrough just ahead. Beloved, never curse the delay. The delay is preparation. The delay is alignment. The delay is the weaving of unseen threads. Divine timing is not denial. Delay is not refusal. Silence is not absence. The invisible. The hand is moving. The angels are arranging. The channels are opening. The men and women who will bring you your supply are being moved into position. The $1,000 you have spoken is already yours, but the stage must be set. The players must be in place. The hour must strike. Consider Joseph. Betrayed, sold, imprisoned, forgotten. Did it look like divine timing? No. Yet the very chains were setting him up for the throne. In one day, he went from prisoner to prime minister. Had he rushed the process, had he escaped the prison by his own hand, he would have missed the palace. The prison was preparation for the crown. Your delays are not denials. They are preparations for the throne. Beloved, rest in timing. Faith rests. Faith does not strive, does not gnaw at the seed, does not dig up the soil. Faith plants and knows. Faith waters and trusts. Faith waits and rejoices, for the appointed hour will come, and it will not tarry. Swami Vivekananda said, "Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. This is divine timing, unwavering focus until the appointed hour, no matter how long it seems." Beloved, timing is also release. To hold too tightly is to choke the flow. To grasp is to delay. Release it to God, and trust the clockwork of heaven. Say within, "My supply comes in right time. My harvest ripens in perfect season. My $1,000 manifests at the appointed hour. I cannot miss it, for it is mine." Remember Jesus at the wedding feast. When the wine ran out, his mother said, "They have no wine." He replied, "My hour is not yet come." But when the hour struck, water became wine. Not one moment too soon, not one moment too late. Your water too shall become wine. Your lack shall become abundance. Your $1,000 shall appear, not in your hour, but in the divine hour. Beloved, there is great peace in timing. You do not need to chase, to beg, to fear. Rest, and act when led. Rest, and speak in faith. Rest, and wait with joy. For the law is perfect, the clock is true, and your miracle is certain. Carl Jung said, "Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see." When you align with divine timing, synchronicities abound. The right person calls at the right moment. The opportunity appears at the exact hour. The check arrives when needed most. To the world, it looks like chance. But to the awakened soul, it is divine timing in motion. Beloved, never despair if the hour seems late. Abraham was old when the promise came. Sarah was barren when Isaac was born. Moses was 80 when the burning bush blazed. Jesus waited 30 years before his ministry began. Delay is not denial. The greater the promise, the greater the preparation. Say now within, I trust the divine clock. I am always at the right place at the right time. Nothing is too late. Nothing is too soon. My supply is punctual. My $1,000 is timely. I live in the rhythm of heaven. And so you shall. Beloved, your demonstration will not miss you. It is tied to you by cords of destiny. The appointed hour is approaching. Rest, rejoice, and know, it is done. The Spirit whispers, resist not evil. These words are not weakness, they are power. For every battle you fight in the flesh multiplies the enemy. Every blow you strike in anger strengthens the chain. But when you lay down the sword of resistance and lift the wand of the word, the enemy dissolves like mist before the sun. Beloved, non-resistance is not surrender to lack, it is surrender to God. It is not yielding to poverty, it is yielding to abundance. It is not bowing before fear, it is bowing before faith. When you resist, you give power to the thing resisted. When you ignore it and look to the infinite, you starve it of life, and it withers. Imagine a man caught in quicksand. The more he struggles, the deeper he sinks. His very resistance is his destruction. But if he relaxes, if he floats, he is lifted. So too with the struggles of money, health, and relationships. Resistance pulls you down. Non-resistance lifts you up. Divine substance is fluid, ever-flowing, like water. It seeks the open channel. Resistance is a dam. It blocks the flow. Non-resistance is the open riverbed, welcoming the flood. Say not, I must fight for this $1,000. I must strain. I must labor. For labor without faith is futility. Say rather, I let it flow. I welcome the flood. I allow my supply to come through channels seen and unseen. I resist nothing. I allow all. The Master said, agree with thine adversary quickly. This is the wisdom of non-resistance. Do not quarrel with appearances. If a bill comes, bless it and say, this is proof of supply, and the supply shall come. If an enemy rises, bless them and say, you are part of my good, you drive me deeper into God. If lack appears, bless it and say, this is shadow, the substance of wealth is mine already. Consider water striking a rock. It does not fight, it does not resist, it flows around, over, under, and in time, the rock itself is worn smooth. So too with you, flow around obstacles. Do not harden against them, for hardness breaks. Flow, and you shall overcome without battle. Andrew Carnegie was told steel was impossible. He did not resist the scoffers. He flowed around them. He let their resistance be their prison, while he flowed into empire. Walt Disney was told his dream was folly. He did not quarrel. He flowed onward, and the world bowed before his castles. The men of non-resistance are the men of victory. Beloved, resentment is resistance. Bitterness is resistance. Fear is resistance. These choke the falsoa. Flow. Release them, and you release the flood. Forgive quickly, bless freely, yield cheerfully, for what you release returns multiplied. What you cling to decays. What you resist persists. Thomas Troward wrote, the Spirit is life, love, wisdom, power. To resist these is death, to yield is eternal life. When you yield to Spirit, you yield to all. The $1,000 you seek does not come by grasping, by clutching, by resisting others. It comes by yielding, by blessing, by letting. Beloved, non-resistance is also silence. You need not answer every insult. You need not defend against every attack. The truth defends itself. The light needs no witness. The word spoken once in faith stands forever. To argue is to resist. To resist is to weaken. Rest in silence, and the adversary falls by his own weight. Think of the martial art of jujutsu, where the strength of the opponent is turned against him. The fighter does not resist. He redirects. He yields, and in yielding, he conquers. So with you. Yield to appearances, flow with circumstances, and turn their strength into your own. Beloved, when you resist debt, you magnify it. When you resist lack, you increase it. When you resist enemies, you multiply them. But when you say, there is no resistance in spirit, God alone acts, all is well, all is perfect, all is now, the thing dissolves. Do you remember Jesus on the cross? They mocked, they struck, they pierced. Did he resist? No. He forgave, he yielded, he released his spirit. And in that yielding, he conquered death. Resistance would have chained him, but non-resistance raised him above the grave. Beloved, let go of the struggle, cease the battle, the law is on your side, the $1,000 you have spoken is already yours. Why fight for what is given? Why resist what is flowing? Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Say within now, I resist nothing, I flow with divine substance. I let the $1,000 come through open channels. I forgive. I release. I allow. I walk in peace. I walk in plenty. I walk in power. Non-resistance is the end of fear, the end of striving, the end of bitterness. It is the wide river, carrying you without effort. It is the wind at your back, the current beneath your feet, the unseen hand lifting you. Rest, beloved. Yield, beloved. Allow, beloved. For in non-resistance, all is done. And so it is. The Spirit declares, and the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us. This is the mystery of manifestation. That which you spoke in the silence now stands before you in substance. That which you declared in faith now shines in form. The unseen has become seen. The invisible has clothed itself in matter. The $1,000 you affirmed, believed, and released is no longer an idea, but a possession. Beloved, manifestation is not magic, it is law. The farmer plants the seed and reaps the harvest. The inventor holds the idea and sees the machine. The artist dreams the vision and paints the canvas. So too do you speak the word and see the wealth. As surely as night follows day, the harvest comes. Faith without manifestation is incomplete. The word is seed, but the harvest is proof. To speak and never see would be to mock the law, but the law does not mock. The law fulfills. What you hold in consciousness, you hold in hand. What you see within, you see without. What you declare, you wear. The prophet Habakkuk said, "Write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will surely come, it will not tarry." Beloved, the vision written in your soul is manifesting. The $1,000 is running toward you, swift as a courier from heaven. It cannot be stopped. Remember, manifestation does not come from struggle. It comes from alignment. The apple does not wrestle to appear upon the branch. It grows in silence, nourished by the unseen root. Then suddenly, in the right season, the fruit is there, ready to be plucked. Your wealth too ripens in silence, and suddenly, there it is. Remember, manifestation does not come from struggle. It comes from alignment. The apple does not wrestle to appear upon the branch. It grows in silence, nourished by the unseen root. Then suddenly, in the right season, the fruit is there, ready to be plucked. Your wealth too ripens in silence, and suddenly, there it is. Napoleon Hill told of riches that came to those who held the vision through years of preparation. Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, men who spoke the word within themselves until substance obeyed. They did not beg, they did not fear, they did not resist. They held the vision and it came. Beloved, manifestation requires expectancy. To expect is to prepare. To expect is to receive. If you expect a guest, you set the table, you open the door, you prepare the feast. Do you expect your $1,000? Then prepare the place. Open the channel. Act as one who already has it. Say not, perhaps it will come. Say rather, it is already here, moving into form. Walk as one wealthy. Speak as one provided for. Live as one supplied. The law of assumption is the law of manifestation. Assume the thing, and it is done. Carl Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, the invisible sea where all minds are linked. Your word enters this sea and draws unto you the people, the opportunities, the channels through which your supply flows. What you declare sends ripples through the collective, and soon the very man or woman who carries your blessing is stirred to act. This is manifestation in action. Beloved, do not wonder how it will come. That is God's work. The how is hidden in the womb of the infinite. Your part is to speak, to believe, to expect. God's part is to weave, to move, to deliver. Do not peer behind the curtain. Trust the stage. Trust the timing. Trust the hand that delivers. Ella Wheeler Wilcox declared, "You never can tell what your thou gates will do in bringing you hate or love. For thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves. Your thoughts fly forth and return with your supply. Your $1,000 is a carrier dove returning to your hand, swift, sure, unfailing." Beloved, manifestation often comes suddenly. The tree grows slowly, but the fruit appears at once. Joseph languished for years, but in one day was raised to power. The disciples toiled in vain, but at one word, their nets overflowed with fish. Expect suddenness, expect overflow, expect miracles. Do not say, "It is too much," for with God, nothing is too much. Do not say, "It is too small," for every coin is proof of abundance. Bless the small as the seed of the great. The $1,000 is seed for 10,000, the 10,000 for 100,000, the 100,000 for millions. For he that is faithful in little shall be ruler over much. Manifestation requires gratitude. To thank before seeing is faith. To thank after seeing is harvest. Begin now to give thanks. Bless every dollar that passes through your hand. Speak over it. Divine substance multiplies. This is seed for greater. This is proof of abundance. Gratitude multiplies what you have. Complaint diminishes it. Do not envy another's harvest. Envy is resistance, and resistance blocks. Rejoice in another's blessing, and you multiply your own. Say, the wealth that is theirs proves the wealth that is mine. God is no respecter of persons. What he has done for another, he does for me. Beloved, manifestation is not far. It is here. The word you have spoken lives in the present tense. Not I will have, but I have. Not I will be, but I am. The Lord said, before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Your call is heard. Your answer is now. Beloved, manifestation is not far, it is here. The word you have spoken lives in the present tense. Not, I will have, but I have. Not, I will be, but I am. The Lord said, before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Your call is heard. Your answer is now. Dr. Frank Crane once wrote that faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark. Your song of gratitude before the manifestation hastens the dawn. Sing now. Rejoice now. Praise now, for the harvest is already in the field. Beloved, see the money in your hand. Smell the ink of the bills. Feel the texture. Hear the rustle. See yourself blessing it, spending it wisely, sowing it in good ground. Imagination precedes manifestation. What you hold in vision, you hold in hand. Say now within, I have it now. The $1,000 is mine. I am supplied. I am wealthy. I am free. Say it with conviction, with authority, with joy. For heaven hears, substance obeys, and the law fulfills. Beloved, manifestation is the proof of God's faithfulness. It is the visible echo of your invisible word. It is the rainbow after the storm, the harvest after the seed, the crown after the cross. Your $1,000 is not a dream, it is a decree, it is not a wish, it is a law, it is not a hope, it is a fact, and so it appears, and so it multiplies, and so it blesses you and all it touches. Beloved, the challenge is fulfilled, the law has spoken, the word has manifested, the $1,000 is yours. Walk in it, bless it, use it for good, and know, this is only the beginning. Your word is your wand, your faith is your fortune, your supply is endless. Speak, believe, release, and it shall be so. Beloved soul, if this message has opened your heart, if the law has stirred your spirit, then let your action flow with gratitude. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with those who hunger for truth. For as you give, so shall it be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and so it is.